Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast with your host, Nicole
and Hannah. Come join us for some hopeful conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing.
Hey, Hallmarkies, we're back for another episode. I'm missing my wonderful co-host Hannah today, but I'm joined by my sweet friend Noelle to chat about the Wedding Veil Inspiration, which is the second movie in the second trilogy.
Yes, I'm excited to chat with you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. Welcome back. This is your second time on the podcast.
Yes, I love chatting with you.
Yes.
I appreciate you having me back.
Of course. I'm excited to have you back. This movie, it stars, of course, Autumn Reeser and Lacey Chabert and Allison Sweeney, along with Paolo, who plays Autumn's husband in the Wedding Veil trilogy, and Carlo Marks, who plays Mateo, and Casey Roll, who plays Lily. It was directed by Terry Ingram and written by Betsy Morris and Lori Wilde.
Love it. Love Terry Ingram too. Just all the movies that he directs.
Yes.
They're so good. So had high hopes for this one and he continues to deliver. So it was great. Yeah.
Yes, he is a wonderful director and he is one of the directors of Chesapeake Shores as well. So
yeah. Yes. Had the privilege of meeting him at the Christmas in Chicago Rama Drama.
Yes.
He is just a delight. So
he seems like such a nice guy.
He is really, really nice. And just also, he directed one of my favorite movies, Hallmark movies, the Winter in Vale with
that is a great one. Yeah.
That's like one of my favorites. But
yeah.
Nonetheless, the Wedding Veil trilogy, amazing. So
yes.
Yeah.
And the Chessies know Carlo as David on Chesapeake Shores.
Yes, there you go. I know, like all worlds kind of like collide.
Yeah.
Yeah, too funny. But yeah, all good things for sure. For sure.
So right off the bat, the opening scene with Paolo and Emma, that was so cute. She's looking in the mirror and I think she's putting her earrings on. And Paolo kind of comes up behind her and starts complimenting her.
I know. Their story is just so sweet. And I think that opening scene, I know, it just gives you like all the feels for sure.
Yeah. When they were talking about the Venetian mirror and the impersonation that Paolo did of the shop owner, that was hilarious. He was like, "You will have 6 children."
Yeah. I know. I think what I love most about like just the whole Italian, like just it's just he's very warm and compassionate and just animated, and I love Paolo.
Yes.
I have a special place for Paolo.
I think Emma was the one that said, "I'm willing to compromise with 5."
I know. She's really sweet too. Just their whole like dynamic so different. They're very playful. They're very just I love their story. They're really cute.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments in this movie is at the beginning, and it's after they've had breakfast and they receive the lace from Nona, and they're reading the card together in Italian, and it says, "When you wear my lace, you wear my love."
I know that was really, really sweet. And it just, I think their whole storyline, I mean, being Italian myself, it really does a nice job of like capturing the Italian way. Like you embrace everybody's family, but it's so nice. It was so nice. I thought that was sweet and sentimental gesture from Nona. Just so cute. And I really like how Emma, is on her Italian, and it was a really good scene. I agree.
Yeah. One of the funniest moments at the beginning of the movie is with Paolo and his cousin Mateo at the shop, and Mateo is using the fork to align the painting And
Yeah.
Paolo comes in and, he's like, no, don't do that. And Mateo's like, life hacks.
Yes. Yeah, that was a very funny scene. I think, not skipping ahead, I think one of, a funny scene too was the spider scene in Emma's office, where I was like, oh my gosh, like I totally relate. Do not like spiders, no, but yeah, that was really, really funny. So there were a bunch of funny moments in this movie. I think that's, it was such a good, a good balance of, humor, and then those like really hard hitting moments, and, some of the, the dynamic with the friend, like the three girls, like this one I really enjoyed. Yeah.
And going back to the scenes with the spider for a moment, the fact she called the spider Charlotte.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's like nostalgia. The
Charlotte's Web.
I know. It just there were a lot of good the writing was excellent. I think through the first 3-part, the trilogy, and now the second part. So good. I really am hopeful that they're going to continue on with this. I feel like kind of like a new way of doing these movies, like following the 3 storylines and the intertwine.
It would be great.
It would be great. I agree. I like where they're going with this.
Me too.
For sure.
This was very brief, but Emma and Lily's conversation after class, when Lily is pretending to talk about how she has a date that weekend.
Yes.
That was so funny. And then they start talking about the box mac and cheese.
Yeah. I know Lily's character is very sweet. It was really nice to kind of see her kind of, let her guard down. The magic of the veil kind of like doing its thing. And I enjoyed that. And I'm trying to remember exactly what she said, but when she and Mateo were talking about like what they were, where I think, they were only like dating for the day. And then I enjoyed
that. Was a good scene. Yeah.
That relationship to kind of, evolve and when it just, that was really sweet. I liked that.
Yeah. That opening party at the shop, Paolo is showing Emma the veil, and Avery and Tracy show up, and
the girls.
This line from Avery cracked me up when she's talking about Peter and baby Daniel. And she says, no, he's in Boston. Peter says they're going to order a keg, shoot some pool, and watch the playoffs.
I know. It's just like there are so many. There's so many lines and right, like just like one-offs like in this movie. I that was a good one. I know. I like how I think having the girls like live pretty close to one another. Still, well, in this one. But now to see, not to spoil it for anyone, but how they continue to like have their together is like now that Emma and Paolo are in Italy. I mean, but it's really endearing to just see how supportive and like how close the girls are, and they're there together. I think one of my favorite scenes in the movie was when the girls knew that Emma really needed them, and they came.
That was a very sweet moment.
It was really nice just to see them, kind of like just being like, everyday girlfriends, like, on her bed, like talking about, like reminiscing about memories, like the list. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And, making junk food and dessert. And it was really, I loved that scene. I think was one of my favorites too.
I think it was one of mine too.
Yeah. I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
Can we talk about that meet cute with Lily and Mateo?
Yes. Oh my God. Almost like knocking the...
That would be me. I would be the one that knocks the veil over.
Oh, same. Oh, same. I would just be like, so, kind of in awe. Like, you see this beautiful,
Yeah.
handsome, like, yeah, no, totally. Yep. That would be me.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
And then Emma goes on to tell the story of the veil, which I thought was really nice. And of course, the phones are out with people recording it.
Yep. Yep. It's like, the way of the world, and just like how
Yeah.
like things, like you can record something quick and it just like, gets like huge overnight.
Yeah.
It was really nice to, I think that too, like the theme of like Emma also like finding herself, in the sense of like
Mm-hmm.
figuring out like what her passions are.
Mm-hmm.
I think, she was just so caught up in, I need to become like the head of the academic department, but just
Mm-hmm.
really like
Yeah.
find passion for storytelling. And
Yeah.
I loved that. I
Me
really loved
too.
so good at it. So like
Yeah.
the historian, the local historian, it was just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think her nickname is everyone's favorite art historian.
That
I think.
that was it. Everyone's favorite art historian. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Oh my goodness. Like I loved that. Like really seeing her come into her own, and kind of like, figuring it out, herself. And yeah, that was really nice. I liked that a lot.
Yeah. Lily, of course, was one of the ones taking
The video.
video, which is how that all came about.
Sneaky. Yeah, no, totally, totally. It's kind of, and that's also something really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
because Lily had a very, played a very key
Mm-hmm.
role, in Emma's kind of journey to
Yeah.
find, or figuring out her true passion, like, all of,
Mm-hmm.
and then Emma also with the veil,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah.
very key role in Lily's future as well. Those, like that parallel was kind of cool as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that.
Emma, Tracy, and Avery after the party, and Avery is showing the photo of Daniel in the gym shoes. And then Paolo shows up, and they're all talking about Chicago deep dish pizza.
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
I love how Paolo calls it a flying saucer.
I know.
It actually kind of looks like.
It does. It does. I know the pizza, you're right. Like that's kind of cool too, how that was kind of incorporated, Chicago, that's like a
Yeah.
staple of Chicago.
Mhm.
How that was kind of incorporated throughout the movie, the heart
Yeah.
shape that he sent her,
Mhm.
like while he was away.
Yeah.
I thought that was also very endearing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like flying saucer. Yeah,
Yeah.
it totally does. Yeah.
Yeah.
The personal sized like deep dish pizzas, like they look like flying saucers. Like it, yeah.
I've heard it's really good. I've never had Chicago deep dish pizza.
It's very good. It's very good. Not this previous time that I was out there, but when I was out there for work, I had it. It was very, very good. You fill up pretty quickly, but it's so different from all the pizza that you typically have. It's good. Yeah.
I'll have to try it sometime.
Yes. Yes, you do. Definitely recommend. It's very
Yeah.
good.
And pineapple pizza. I have to mention that.
Pineapple pizza. Oh gosh, that I have not. I have not.
You've not had pineapple pizza?
No, I have not. I have not. But would be willing to try it. I mean,
It's really good, actually.
it does sound really good.
Yeah.
I mean, apple, so good.
Mhm. And I love how Emma mentions that every time she has leftovers, it just magically disappears from the fridge.
The typical, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband.
Yeah.
Right. You
Yeah.
have leftover. No offense, like
Yeah.
offense, but they always seem to disappear. And how is that?
Yeah.
Have like your heart set on
Mhm.
something like leftovers like the next day, and you're like, yep, I'm gonna have that for lunch, and you go, what a big letdown. I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for me, I think of the three storylines, I feel like Emma and Paolo is like I relate to like probably the most. I think, yeah, yeah, that's so funny. There were a lot of moments where it's like, oh my gosh, that, or like
Yeah.
you feel yourself saying that, like, oh my gosh, how true is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
relatable. Yeah, for sure.
So while they're all spending time together, Paolo gets a call from Italy, and it's about his dad. And I loved the support from, of course, Emma and Avery and Tracy. I thought that was really sweet.
Same. I thought that was really sweet too. And like she was ready to go with him. He's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
oh, yeah, no, I think that definitely, there were a lot of moments where, you felt the support from, the people that meant the most to both of them, which I really liked. I think, yeah, like the friend dynamic, but also like the significant other
Yeah.
partnership dynamic, like was very, very strong. Even while he was away throughout, the movie, like he still like found subtle ways or grand ways to be there and show up for Emma while,
Yeah.
I think, even another great scene, I'm sure we'll get to this, I won't jump too far ahead, but was like one of the very like close to the end scenes where Lily and Mateo like be stealth, and we'll
Yes.
talk about that. But yeah, no, it's just there was a lot of great moments. Really feel the support, whether any of them were near, far.
I agree.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that.
The girl time with Emma, Avery, and Tracy after Paolo left.
Yes.
And at first it's just Emma and Avery, and they're sitting on the bed talking, and Tracy comes in and she says, "Are you two having fun without me? You know I struggle with FOMO."
Yeah. I know. I mean, but don't we all? It's like, when our
Yeah.
girlfriends are all together and like you miss something, you're like, what am I missing? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Yeah, I do like Tracy's character too.
Yeah. Me too.
I do like her character, because like she says, no, I'll never do this, or then she somehow finds herself doing whatever it is, and she's pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
So I love Tracy's character too.
Yeah. Me too. And I don't know why, but the line about FOMO, that kind of takes me back a little bit to Haul Out the Holly with, I can't remember her character's name, but Ellen Travolta's character, when it's talking about FOMO and she's like, fear of making out. And I'm like,
oh yeah, you're like, no, that's close, but not, not the FOMO we're talking about. Yeah, no, that is funny. I know. I feel like, and also similar to like, just Hallmark style in general,
yeah.
also, with the cameo, they incorporated the cameos. I feel like some of like, the subtle, like, one-off, like maybe jokes, whatever it is, like incorporating a lot of that across all, where you're like, oh my God, that seems so similar to like what they did in, right, exactly, like Pull Out the Holly. Yeah, I love where
that was hilarious.
I love where the network is taking things. It's just
yeah. Same. Emma, she starts talking about writing the article on the Veil, which her boss Nancy wants her to publish one more time before she hands over the reins.
Yes.
And then they start talking about Mateo and his story and why he left Miami. And then they go on to Emma's 5-year plan and college memories, which I thought was awesome.
I know. And it's funny. I feel like everybody has somewhat of a plan, or they think like, oh my gosh, what I have to do. I love how she's like, no, I don't stray away from the plan. And everything that has taken place in this movie, it could, it all just kind of, it's so different from what she meant. And I think that's also, something too. It was just nice to see the growth. And then, it was, I love the 5-year plan. That was, that's great.
Another funny moment is when Emma is at the shop with Mateo and Lily, and Mateo and Lily are talking about videos people post on Clack. That was hilarious.
Oh, I know. it's funny how like they change the names of certain. Yeah, I know. It is funny.
Yeah.
Love that. Like so subtle, like about like changing the names of the platforms and
Yeah.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was really
That is
funny.
funny. That is really funny.
And then the comedy continues, kind of, when Lily looks up Mateo to see if he is single.
The model, yeah. Oh, is he single? Oh yeah, no, I know. And I know, and Emma's like, well, no, that's over. Yeah. That is funny. And honestly, if you have a crush on someone, who doesn't look up their crush? Like you'd be lying if you come on. Yeah, no, that's why I think I keep saying it, but I really do. That's why I feel very strongly about it that this movie was just relatable on so many levels. Like,
yeah.
New relationships, existing, long-term relationships, friendship, just everything, like, family. Like, I just loved all of the, just seeing just, all of these types of, different relationships and just, the relatable moments that you're like, oh yeah. Like, so for sure, I really, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have done that in the past once or twice.
I mean, I'm not same. I mean, that's why I'm saying, who hasn't?
Yeah.
Like, say that you didn't.
Yeah.
So I get it. And for someone that's also like, letting her guard down, like, she wants to know, are there any red flags from the beginning? Like, so she's just, what's the deal with this guy? So no, totally. I get it. And
Yeah.
have done it.
Emma and Lily's walk, I thought that was a nice moment. And this is when they are talking about Mateo and the article about the veil. And Emma says, fine, factual, and good. Wow. And that is in response to what Lily said about the article, I think, word for word.
Yeah. No, I know. They shared some really sweet moments. Like while Lily was, support for Emma, like professional wise. It's nice also, again, like the friendship that and the relationship outside of work. It was nice to see that. That was definitely one where I would also say that start to see them like really get close as friends.
Yeah. I thought another nice moment is the little interaction between Paolo and Emma before he leaves for Italy again. And Paolo is telling her how long distance hasn't worked for her in the past because it was the wrong man.
Right. Yeah, no. And, it's easy to, if you've experienced something, beforehand, it's naturally it's easy and it wasn't good. And it wasn't a good experience.
Yeah.
It's normal to feel like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to go through this again. So, and I think he pleasantly surprised her by, he was far away, but he, really did keep his word, in the sense of like being there for her. So, and I think that also too, as she was kind of like figuring out herself, like, and what was next for her, and what made sense for the two of them. And, I think that also helped the cause with like getting her to, really just be like, no, this isn't working. I know it's going to work. Yeah. And making that or taking that leap of faith and that move. Yeah.
I love how we see baby Daniel in this movie with the phone conversation that Emma, Avery, and Tracy have.
Yes.
When they are talking about the videos that have been posted.
Yes, I know. And I think that too is also really nice, like across like the trilogy, to see like, the different stages in their lives that they are, but they're woven together by, just like, their friendship is just, nothing changes, like, where they are in their lives, like nothing changes. And I like that about the series for sure. But it is nice. It's nice to see them at, all different stages, like, right, like Avery and, Peter have this family, and Paolo and and Emma are doing, they're expanding like their business, and like they're figuring out, professional growth, and they're like this couple. And I mean, but the same thing could be said about Tracy and like Nick. It's just, it's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Mateo and Lily at the shop again, and this is when he asks her on the date, which I thought was really sweet.
To go grab dinner. I know. And you can tell like she's like she wants to say yes, but she's so hesitant. But I love that scene. Like he just went for it. He's like, he's like, I know that, I just gotta, this is my time to take my shot. He just went for it. That was a really right. It was like right after they're closing up the shop, and I know you could feel that connection between them, and that was really, really sweet.
Yeah. And in the scene, we also hear a little bit more about Lily's family, which I loved.
Yes, right. Her dad working at, the shop, and, growing up. Yeah, no, I love that too. Because like you could see like, where she's getting all her experience from. Knowing more about her, and which I think, right, like we were saying, like I think it was, it's kind of hard. It seems like it was like that was something that was very difficult to open up and talk about, and he made her easily just made her
And I've said it many times before on other recaps, but chivalry is not dead. I love how he helped Lily with her coat.
Oh, I know. I mean, exactly. Like that could be said about, all of the, there are many gestures in this that you feel the chivalry, and right. Just even the surprise and the great lengths that that Paolo went to. And even right, like the little subtle thing, right, that Mateo was doing for Lily. I know. And
Hallmark.
Like, Hallmark. I mean,
they raised the bar on guys.
Laid it on thick, but like so good though. Like it was so good. Yeah. I know this. I know I keep saying it, but I really like this movie. Like I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, me too.
It was really good.
Yeah. We get another phone conversation with Emma, Avery, and Tracy. This is when they're talking about the photos that they've sent Emma because she's feeling a little down. And I think one from Avery was of baby Daniel. And then I think Tracy had sent her 2 articles. And then one of them had sent a link to a pair of shoes and a penguin video.
I mean, how could you go wrong?
Yeah. And after that, we see Emma receive the free pizza from Paolo with the note, Amore, you are the love of my life. P.S. This is still not real pizza.
I know. I loved that. Like, even though, she remained top of mind for him, like he was dealing so much on his, where he was at with his dad, but he never forgot about Emma. And just, you could tell just by all the things he was doing that he really, he cares, he loves her. And right. This is not real pizza. I mean, that I think could be said about like many of the cuisines. I feel like, the Italian American versus like authentic Italian food, like, it could be, pizza, pasta, like there are certain things. So those little, like those little jokes and, I think were just like really good. Like, they were really sweet.
Yes.
Really.
And back to Charlotte the Spider again, just for a second.
Our girl.
When Emma is hiding from the spider and Lily shows up.
Bless Lily. Lily's like, are you serious? Yeah.
And then she finds out that it's on her desk and she's like freaking out.
I know. She like literally picks up and like leaves, like bolts out of the office.
I'm not gonna lie, I would too.
Oh, same. Don't. Yeah, I know.
I don't like spiders.
Oh, neither do I.
Or cockroaches.
Oh my gosh. No, same. I mean, living in New York City, like you see a lot of things. But yeah, no, seriously, like I just, that very relatable, something I totally would do. Not a fan of like creepy crawler, like creatures like that. Yeah, no, hard pass. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would same.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. No, that.
The dinner date with Mateo and Lily, and then them sneaking into Emma's house to decorate it. That was
Epic and so stealth. Like
breaking and entering.
I laughed the entire where they're hiding behind the car. I'm like, this is just hysterical. Like it just like I know breaking and entering. I know turning off, like making sure like they're just like covering all their tracks and like they were just and that too I think also like as their relationship was kind of growing was really fun. You could tell like they were having like so much fun with that, and that was really great. I love that.
Yeah.
But that entire scene I laughed the entire time.
Yeah. Of course, any other time, breaking and entering, not good. But
Not
in this case,
not okay. This case, it's totally fine. Family, friends, fine.
yeah.
But they all had they had
Yeah.
good intentions. It was a great
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
I still can't get over how they pulled it off. But
That little video dinner date was really sweet.
so sweet, and the lights and like
Yeah.
I was like, this is just really, really sweet.
Yes. And the next day, Emma is at the shop with Mateo, and he's just like playing it off like, oh, I don't know, I didn't do that.
That happened. Like, who could have done that? Exactly. I know.
That was hilarious.
Really funny. I know yeah, their dynamic too. I love this dynamic and their banter, and yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cute. Yeah.
And Mateo goes on to tell Emma how he likes Lily, and that was really sweet.
That was really sweet. I know. So many sweet moments in this one.
Yes.
To pick a favorite, it's really hard.
It is really hard. The next two scenes, they're very short, but Emma's phone conversation with Paolo when she shares her idea about the veil, and then Emma in her office with Lily when they are talking about making more videos. Those were some nice moments as well.
Yeah, because I think then that's like when she starts to realize like I'm good at up with like all these ideas, and you could see along the way like the restrictions that were being like put up on, like she's like, what am I, she starts to realize like, what am I doing? Those were really good. Right, like you said, like very brief, but also very critical to the story to like see like the light bulb go off where it's like, oh my gosh, like this is a great, I love this is great. I'm realizing this is like maybe what or where my passions are. Yeah, I really liked that. Really liked that too.
Avery and Tracy, they show up and surprise Emma, and I love the time that they get to spend together and the support from Avery and Tracy about what would make Emma happy. And this line made me laugh, but it kind of made me sad for Emma at the same time when she says she hates meetings and she loves making videos. She's like, I hate meetings.
Oh my goodness. I know. She all like that too. I think I think for her too, like when you weren't set on something for so long and have this like idea in your head of like what it's going to be and how great it's going to be, and then when you start to realize like, oh my god, like this is not anything like I pictured, and that's hard. And throughout the whole thing, Nancy, so we're all like, oh my god, Nancy, what a witch, like why is she treating Emma like this, what is she doing, like and I think I'm probably head, but I really do think like the end scene of like the two of them, Nancy and
I
Emma,
loved that scene.
I loved that because like, oh my gosh, like Nancy was really all along looking out for Emma because she was like, she knew
that wasn't what she wanted to do. Yeah.
wasn't for her, like there's so many other things like she's doing, and
Yeah.
that was like the first time where I was like, yeah, Nancy. I was like,
Yeah.
this is like all like I was like team
Yeah.
at that point where I was like, yes. So I was like, this
Yeah.
yeah.
I think her line was something along the lines of, I've been waiting for you to figure it out.
Yes, I loved that.
Like, I've been intentionally giving you these tasks so that you could figure out.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And and that's why like all along, yeah, I all these like little things that really helped. And even as hard as it was for Emma and Paolo to be apart, I think just all of these things just really helped her in her way of like figuring out what was going to work for her, what she wanted to do next. But yeah, Nancy, as much as we didn't like her throughout the entirety of the movie, like there was that, the end scene where you're like,
Yeah.
Nancy, you
That
know
was great.
what you were doing all along. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really, really good. Yeah.
And Nancy, for all the Hardys out there, she played Elizabeth's mom in season 2, which I loved. And she was also in Virgin River. I won't give any spoilers because her character is no longer on the show, but she's a great actor.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. And I think what I like about it's nice to see all the different characters that these actors get cast at, throughout the Hallmark life. And it's really interesting.
Yeah.
How different some of them can be. Just, the talent. Like I think also just like to play all the different characters and roles.
Really it really shows their versatility.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I loved the scene with Mateo and Lily in the park, and they joke about the judge's card.
Oh my gosh, my heart. I loved that because I feel like that was like the first like very real conversation that they were having about what they are, and like, I just also loved how vulnerable that Lily was. And just how honest they were with one another, and how, open that Mateo was to make it work with Lily, however comfortable, like, or however way that she would be most comfortable. And I liked how she's like, day to day, what was it like? I think, I can't remember the exact phrasing, but it was like the day date. I think it might have been like,
Yeah, that was when they were deciding to date for a day.
That, yes.
Yeah. That was a really nice moment.
That was a really nice moment. We keep saying like, I can't pick it. I really can't pick
a favorite. Yeah.
Because that was just so sweet. And I loved how vulnerable Lily was, and just how understanding Mateo was. I loved that. I really loved that.
Paolo showing up and surprising Emma and their dinner date on the porch. That was so sweet. And Emma throws her 5-year plan in the fire.
Yep. That too. The sacrifices that the two of them, make for one another. It really like that. Yeah. It just, that was really sweet.
Yeah.
I loved that scene too.
Yeah.
By 5-year plan.
Yes.
Things don't always go according to plan. So while it's good planner, but while it's, have somewhat of a plan, it's also nice, like the unexpected, is also, and also that's something to embracing the unexpected. So for sure, I love that scene.
Yes, me too. Emma also tells Paolo that Mateo is in love with Lily, and I love Paolo's reaction to that.
I know. Just the magic of that veil.
Yeah, something about the veil.
About that veil. I mean,
yeah.
I know. That was really sweet.
This movie, in some ways, it reminds me of Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yes. Now that you said that. Yes, it does. It does. No, I know that veil.
I loved that movie growing up, and I still love that movie
Great
even
movie.
now. Yeah.
Yes. Alexis Bledel and
America Ferrera and Blake Lively and Amber Tamblyn. That was the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great movie. Yeah.
Now I kind of want to watch that at some point.
I do too.
I want to rewatch it. Yeah. That's really.
Yeah. Of course, we get the beautiful wedding of Mateo and Lily, and she's wearing the veil.
She's wearing the veil. Oh my gosh, the magic of that. I know.
Yes.
And that too, like of course, the magic of the veil and what it means. Kind of nice that, like, that's also like a common thread that kind of just also kind of brings them all kind of closer.
Yeah.
I really like about the series is like they all have that one piece, that one thing in common.
Yeah. And the reception and the conversation with Emma, Avery, and Tracy.
Yeah.
They are talking about how things are going with Mateo at the store, the veil becoming a bestseller, living in Italy, antiquing the Venetian mirror that Emma got from Paola for her birthday, and Emma is pregnant.
I know that was such a sweet moment because like now, like her life is changing in a really great, and with Tracy, it's so funny because like they said that like with multiple times where they're like, well, maybe you'll have one someday.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but that I know it's really, really sweet. Where she's, I'll just enjoy your,
Yes.
But
yeah.
Oh, I know, Emma. That was
really sweet.
That was so great. That was like the cherry on top of the whole.
Yeah.
The whole movie. It was really good.
Before the movie aired and they were showing previews for the movie. And, they showed that clip from the wedding reception and the three of them hugging. Did you guess that she was going to be pregnant?
I didn't really know what to expect. I feel like there are so many sweet moments that they did. Like I just wasn't expecting that. I think the whole she and Paolo picking up and go, actually going to live in Italy. I thought that was going to be the big plot twist. So the cherry, the bonus of her being pregnant and they expanding their family and growing their family. That was really, really sweet. And just another thing that, she and Avery are going to bond over now. And just really, really sweet.
Yeah. It was kind of like maybe 75-25 for me. Like I was 75% sure, but I wasn't like 100%.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No, I wasn't expecting her to be pregnant yet. I was like, okay, well, maybe if they, fingers crossed, maybe if they keep, going on the trilogy, which I think it's been a really big success. I think, fans would love to see this continue because there's so many incredible storylines, three that, I think, that's why I was like, expecting that right away. I was like, oh, look at that. Yeah, it's really sweet.
And to end off the movie, the clip at the end with Paolo and Emma talking about when they met. And then Paolo covers the kiss with his hand.
Oh my God. I loved how they did that, for all three. Like at the very end of three, they talked about how they met and, they're like, I just loved that. I loved that. Yeah, no, it was really, really sweet.
That was awesome.
Love that.
This was such a great movie. I would give it 4 out of 5.
I would too. I absolutely would too. I think, there were just so many relatable moments. Also, right, you laughed, you felt some of the, the hard stuff, because you can relate to, a bunch of different things that, took place, whether it be, your career, personal lives, relationships, like all of that. So I really loved it. And thought it was very, very well done.
Yes. Well, thank you, Noelle, for coming on and joining me for this awesome review. It was so much fun.
thank you so much for having me, Nicole. I
of
love
course.
Happy to come back if you ever want me to.
Yes.
It was great. So thank you for having me. And
of course.
Love chatting with you about this.
Yes. We will definitely have you back on again in the future.
Thank you. Happy to help. And, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Of course. All right, Hallmarkies. I think that wraps up our review of the Wedding Veil Inspiration. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in the world. And we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.